last night on stream, I was made aware of this video. Now, War Thunder, in its totality, I feel like has needs some correction, some guidance from someone outside of the pigsty that is Gaijin as the development company. And often it's been a topic on my stream about, you know, like how to fix the game, like what to do to make it better. Because they have no real competition, they unfortunately will not, like, make anything that's, in their eyes, risky. Because they're on the same format. They don't need to evolve. There is no competition. World of Tanks is not a competitor to War Thunder. They are tank simulating games, but they are completely different in the sense of realism and a literal arcade game. But I was made aware that PhlyDaily, the largest, or one of the largest War Thunder creators, you know, he's come out with a video. How are we gonna fix it? How are we gonna fix it? Fix War Thunder. You know how they could save this game though? They could just listen to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
No.
They might want to listen more to PhlyDaily than you, no offense.
How's PhlyDaily gonna fix the game?
Did I see his most recent video about describing how the game should be fixed, at least?
No.
Oh, well.
YouTubers have
Watch
watched
it.
perceptions of this game. I would not listen to them.
They have, but he makes a valid point about splitting up Cold War and World War II.
That's what That's what I've said for eons. World War II should be its own thing.
I don't know, Log.
Okay. You're right.
He's got more subscribers than you, man. He's been saying it for long.
Okay. I don't think so, but yeah. Just so you know, if you have more subscribers than someone else, your opinion matters more. You came out with the idea first. If you have the same opinion, and you have more internet points than the other person. So, but let's watch the video and let's see what he has to say. This is going to be a blind react. I haven't watched any of it. To start, he's got the US tech tree up, which, you know, you already know. That's already one brownie point. Okay. US tech tree for the win.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel.
Hello.
I need you guys to share this video. I need it to spread. I need the word to get out. I need the idea to get out.
Okay.
And I feel like if we have a community push towards it, we might.
Already right there. Okay. Community push. Okay. You remember whenever we review bombed the game because of the economy changes? And Gaijin circumvented that by begging Steam to remove all of our reviews that were negative within the certain time frame. But eventually we did get, you know, the economy change that we needed, or a little bit better in our favor. So that was nice, but I'm just saying, like, it needs a little bit more than just a push, you know?
See, enacted. It enacted. So, I've been playing this game for a long time, 12 years. I've seen the ups, I've seen the downs, and I've seen the in-betweens and the ridiculousness. This stage of War Thunder right now, I feel bad. I feel bad for what this game was at one point, what we experienced at one point, and I feel so bad for the new players. I mean, they're not even new. I mean, this is a long time ago. But the first instance of ground RB, like plus a year, where everything was sort of balanced. You were fighting conventional tanks with conventional weapons and conventional methods and conventional speeds.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Everything made sense.
Yeah.
Like everything made so much sense back then that when the Hellcat was added, it broke the game because players had to adapt to a little bit more speed and maneuverability. I mean, a lot more speed and maneuverability.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward today, it is a disaster of a B
Jesus.
spread. The BR spread I'm talking
Damn ads,
about
man.
is 1.0 to 6.7. Capped. I want a capped battle rating at 6.7. I do not want to see any ATGMs. I do not want to see any giant 155 millimeter modern artillery. I do not want to see any light scout vehicles that can fly around the map that were built in the 60s or 70s.
I 100% agree with that. Definitely been on that train for a while. Yeah. Good points, good points. I will say, I think it needs to not be limited based on battle rating, but it needs to be based on years of creation. That's just me. Like, you know, for some reason, the Swedish vehicles that, you know, have auto loaders and have 100 and some odd millimeters of pin are at, like, what, 2.0? Yeah. That needs to not happen.
I think we can all agree on that. And this goes hand in hand with airplanes. I can't tell you how much fun it was back in the day.
That being said, it still just needs to be based on, you know, the time period, not the current battle rating. Because the ME-262 is like, what, 7.3? One of them is. And if that variant was constructed in, you know, 1945, it should still be allowed to be in service against planes from allies and other that were in service at 1945. I think it all needs to be based off of spawn points in ground RB. Like, hey, you're gonna bring out a Tiger 2. These predominantly succeed or perform well. So now their spawn points are like 300 points. You know, like if you don't perform in this, you're outie. But there also needs to be something you can do after you're knocked out. Because what if you take out a Tiger 105, King Tiger, and then you get absolutely slapped by a competent US player, right? You should just not be able to play the game? No, you need to have something else to do to be able to mitigate the repair costs and your time invested in the game already, because you already have loading screens, you know, like even if it's a minute and 30 seconds, you know, is what your loading time is. That's still a minute and 30 seconds of your playtime, and maybe you only get 2 hours of playtime a day, an hour of playtime a day. You need to be able to have something to fill that time, even though you had one bad game or one bad, you know, decision, you know. But then again, you also shouldn't be able to jump into a light tank and be like, oh, well, it's a light tank, it costs less, and then just be able to instantly jump into a really good plane, so on and so forth. There needs to be so much curation and attention to detail on spawn costs that it will allow for a little bit of a balance in that way, because the balance between pure technology trees, like T26 E1 versus a King Tiger, you know, which one's going to perform better in the current meta of how War Thunder is played, right? In my experience, the T26 E1 can be killed faster or easier, but there's, you know, the gun's very good, the armor's still very good, and against vehicles that aren't 7.3 or 7.6 or 7.7, you know, like I've always done well in it, and, you know, videos to prove that. But let's see what he has to say.
How erroneous it is today.
I agree, though.
Like
fighting ATGMs while in World War II vehicles, the mouse should not have to fight an ATGM. I'm sorry. It just shouldn't. It's not designed to have to deal with that. It shouldn't have to deal with that. But then again, you also, every player on the German team shouldn't be able to spawn a mouse. And if they do, you know, like, we need some balancing to look into that. And that's a story for another day.
And heavy tanks really don't even have a place in War Thunder. Like, I mean, they really do, but I'm just talking about, like, mechanic-wise. War Thunder doesn't know what to do with them, okay? First, they can't
Well, they
get
do
to
it.
the caps first, or caps or...
They do in a full down tier, though. Like the Jumbo 76, you know, performs very, very well in a down tier. It's got a 76mm gun. That penetrates a lot of things. It gives you a lot of opportunities. And it's got good armor. But unfortunately, in a full up tier, you have to play a heavy tank like a medium tank, but with less speed and usually an underpowered gun, right? Look at Super Hellcat and the Jumbo 76, right? If I'm already going to go up into an up tier, I'm going to want to take a faster vehicle with a better gun over a slower vehicle with armor that if I'm going to get penetrated by most vehicles armament that I'm fighting, I'm going to want to take something with a better gun. Just saying.
Spawn points. Their armor really doesn't mean anything at the battle rating they are.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Agreed. Yeah, I agree with that.
They don't have artillery to call them. They can't scout. Like, what can they do? Oh, well, they're a heavy tank. They have their armor. That's their benefit. It's not a benefit. It's a curse.
It slows you down.
Because some light M56 Scorpion, heat fin stabilized, can punch through you at any range.
I agree. I agree with that. I've been saying,
and I'm gonna map it out.
I've been saying that for way too long. Way too long. Broken record, dude. That armaments that are meant to negate heavy armor, like, yeah, it's just so, like, the rant that I had with my Jumbo 76 video where that PT 76 was just sitting there, you know, waiting, and one shot my Jumbo, you know, I'm like, you know, it's, whew. Don't even get me started on vehicles with recoilless rifles that can just sit behind a little hill and pew pew, you know, even though I know it's like the play style for it. But when you don't have when you're using technology that couldn't have even been fathomed when the creation of the technology you're using, it's, you know, it creates a very egregious tilt to the game, you know, like BTR 152 whatever thing, the sub 2, the new anti-airs that they keep adding that were developed in the 60s and the 70s, and they're fighting World War II planes. Like, of course they're going to perform well because they're designed to fight the things, you know, 20 years advanced from what you're playing, you know? Like, it's just same way goes for all vehicles, you know, that dynamic. Let's continue.
I can right now. I have no notes written down. This is just from my brain stem to my mouth out to you guys. Hard cap World War II.
Okay.
It doesn't have, I'm just talking about, maybe let's say.
I've just finished.
Jesus, bro. My guy. You gotta put. Oh, come on, man.
Instead of hard cap.
That's 2 ads in 3 minutes.
World War
Jesus.
II, hard cap conventional weapons and armor. So none of those ATGMs, blah, 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 blah. If it's above World War II, so let's say like the FV 4005, that can be added. Okay, conventional weapon, long reload, balance, right? And we can all deal with like this era that I'm talking about.
So the Centurion AVRE should be added? I don't think so. I think that should be the bottom tier of your next, you know, like it's not World War II. It shouldn't be in. I don't agree with that. And I love the Centurion AVRE. Don't get me wrong. But there's balancing that you could do after the fact for your plan here, you know? Like if the change is going to happen, there needs to be multiple changes to go along to, create that. Just like making dinner, right? You are creating the entree, right? You said hard capped World War II. Okay, awesome. I like that. Anything that was made in World War II should be there, right? So that's the big change. You're creating, the dynamic of that. Now you got to get the meat. And you got the meat. Now you need the potatoes and the vegetables, right? Those are the other alterations that you're going to have to do to critique and make it balanced. Which balanced in War Thunder is a joke, but, at least they're trying a little bit with their little sliders,
Does not need to be statistically balanced. It needs to be human balance. And I will do it.
Nope.
I know all the ins and outs of this battle rating spread. I know what works, how it works, and how it should work. And right now, it's not working on any of those levels. So from 1.0 to 6.7.
Did Fly watch my stream? I'm starting to think he watched my stream 3 days ago 3 or 4 days ago when I ranted about this. Actually, it was last week. Yeah. Whenever I first started making the titles, Yep. May 31st. I can save this game. Oh, no, it's got muted audio. That's so sad. Whenever I started making these streams, I can save the game. I can save the game. Anytime anyone asks about it, dude, I would just word vomit trying to get the idea out there, I think he did.
7, you can sprinkle a little bit of Korea in there. Maybe have some boss tanks. Like the IS. Oh my gosh. Guys, okay. This is how it's going to work. Is that each nation would have their own top tier tank, like a Tiger 2, M26, IS-4M. Maybe the IS-4M's too strong. There's always time to figure out what should be and should not be the top tier tank or the boss tank. The boss tank is above the top tier tank. France, maybe not the best examples, but maybe their boss tank could be the AMX super bias, right? You can kill this thing. It's going to be difficult, but they're going to call it in, okay? They're going to call it in. These boss tanks will have 1,500 SP to call into the battlefield. And when someone calls it in, you know what happens? The battlefield announcer goes, AMX 50 reported in the battlefield. Something like that. Some creativity involved in it. But this is
enemy with AC 30 above.
Conventional tank with a conventional
kill streaks,
round.
bro.
Let's make sure it doesn't have any heat. No, it does not. I need this. I need this in War Thunder. I'm so sick and tired of versing tanks.
Okay. Would the mouse be that quote unquote boss tank? I would agree. Yeah, there needs to be something to but then again, I'm also not, I don't mind if someone starts the game with a mouse. It just needs to be, there needs to be limited. There cannot be 6 mouses on the team versus World War II Americans. That just would be, it would be hilarious, but it would just be not fun, I think, for the American players. But also having an announcer say, hey, there's this on the battlefield. What does an American cast player immediately think in that moment? I'm not going to drop my bombs. I'm going to find that. Womp womp, And, maybe that's part of his plan too. But that just immediately, if I heard that and I had 1,000 kilogram bomb or 1,000-pound bomb, I'm stopping what I'm doing and I'm looking in their spawns. I'm going to find the big rectangle that looks like that target and I'm taking it out. That's highest priority. That immediately jumps to highest priority. Instead of it being, people on cap, people going to cap, vehicles in a good position, planes, shot in there depending on what vehicle you're using. That immediately just, that spawn, that goes right to the top, dude. That's your first card you pull. You activated my trap card, destroy high value target, Just saying.
that have no business versing mine.
Jesus, dude.
It's called a Grubel.
My God.
Let me tell you about it.
Now, sure, the M26 is a medium tank, but let's say America will get the call-in of a T29 or something.
Okay.
You know, these boss tanks that cost like 1,000 RP to spawn into the game. I doubt they'll ever do that, but that's how we can create some creativity and interesting battlefield dynamics that we don't have. So just to sum this up real quick, today I learned style. Conventional tanks, conventional weapons, plus a couple years after World War II is fine. We need boss tanks.
I don't think
and
so.
it needs to be player balanced. It needs to be human balance. I need to balance it. I will balance it for you. Anything above, like Vietnam and above, War Thunder, have fun. That's not what this game was built on. This game was
I agree
built
with
on
that.
World
100%.
War II tanks.
100%. I agree with that.
Have fun, Vietnam and above, with all the technologies, all the interesting weapon systems. But I need conventional to verse conventional. Please share this. Please spread it. You know, this is just off the top of my head. There is a lot of time to fine tune this and tailor it to make sure it's balanced and to make sure every nation has their own quirks and features. Like, that's something we don't have in the game anymore.
Ooh.
Everyone has everything. They can do everything
The classic track absorbs the entire shot.
with everyone. I know that didn't make sense, but there's not a meta anymore.
There is.
There's not like, oh crap, that's an IS-4M. You know, we're gonna have to, you know, figure this out, go around and
Oh, Jesus. The old. Ooh.
track them. It's just like,
I mean, the meta, I would say, okay, for that comment, the meta itself, there is no, like, no, I would still agree that there is a meta, for sure. Like, slow tanks are at a conventional disadvantage from just how the game plays, you know? Like, if a fast tank with a good gun, and if their reload is at least average, they can hold down positions very easily. It only gets affected by something that it can't fight against. Like, if I'm in a position with a Super Hellcat, right, hiding in a building, right, it takes 2 vehicles to push me, or, you know, it takes a bomb or a CAS vehicle to get in there, swoop in there, and take me out of that position, right? Like, there is so much dynamic to it, yes, but there's still, you know, like, the tanks that usually succeed the most have to have a certain level of speed just to get to the points or get to the fight. They also have to have, you know, the ability to penetrate and be able to reload quickly, right? Or at least average, right? And that, you know, slows your gameplay or whatever. Like, my last video, the Jagdpanzer, almost got a triple ace. I was holding the W key for the most of the game, you know? Granted, my armor helped me a lot because I wasn't a down tier and I didn't let anyone get to my sides. But, like, each vehicle has its own special playstyle that, you know, like, you need to be capitalizing on. But there definitely is, like, the majority of vehicles that are fast and have good guns in the current playstyle is like, or in the current game, is usually the ones you want to pick just because they're advantageous to get points, get you CAS, get you more spawn points, be able to outflank the enemy, get to advantageous positions, because most tanks don't have their turret on the front of their tank to look around corners. It's usually in the middle. So you have to peek out parts of your tank And the moment that happens, you see your enemy way before they can even shoot you, right? So Peeker's advantage from them having high ping or you having high ping is going to, be mitigated by the sense that you could see their vehicle and shoot the side of their tank before they can even turn that corner to shoot you, right? There's been so many times that a Tiger player, like, oh, I'm going to come in like an angle or whatever. If we're 20 feet apart and I'm in a M18, you have to angle that absolutely perfectly for me to not be able to penetrate either your upper front plate or right there in between your track and your side right there. That nice little sweet spot that it opens up. Just put a round right through that. But yeah, it's just. But the only way that I am able to do that is with the speed and maneuverability of. But yeah, whenever you're like, oh man, this tank's really good right now, it's usually a smaller, faster thing at a BR that it shouldn't be at. Are you 251? Or R3 T20. And for a lot of people, the M18, Super Hellcat, think of the bane of the existence of what you're playing, and what is the probability that it is a small, fast tank. German mains will complain about the M18. Everyone else who has to fight Italy before it got up tiered, it was the R3. Anyone who played against Germany, the RU-251, right? The German M41, the Puma. History repeats itself, and that problem continuously pops up.
There's none of that.
Okay.
I need that back. And for those who weren't here in the early days of War Thunder, you need that. That said, let's see what the IS-4M can do. Just a battle. Let's just see what we can do with it. 7.7. That is horrible. Do you know what is below 7.7? It actually might have got moved up again. Yeah. What didn't this thing used to be like 7.3?
Yeah, probably.
Can you believe that? Yeah, that was 7.3 at one time.
The British Vickers MBT with Sabo was 6.7, and now it's 7.7.
See, this is the issue with player or a AI balanced game or statistics. It doesn't fully equate because everyone sucked playing the Leopard because it was the best tank. So the players who weren't good got clapped, and so that drove the battle rating down, which in reality, there was no reason for it to go to 7.3. It was just that the players were bad playing it. And the more players you get playing a good tank, the worse statistics you're going to get. Please share this. Please spread this. I'm going to go knock on War Thunder's HQ, and this is going to, I'm going to die on this hill. This is what I'm going to work for until War Thunder implodes. Until the sun blows up. Okay? This is my fight. This is, and it can be everyone if we all push. This is what I want. I'm not going to stop until we get some change.
Okay.
Isn't asking for much. War Thunder can keep their stuff.
You're asking Gaijin to do their job. That is asking a lot. I'm sorry. You're trying to ask them to change, and that's like asking a rock to turn to water,
Style of
just saying.
At higher BR. Leave the core safe from technology. And
I'd agree with that.
For planes too. Player balance. Player balance. That's all we need.
But
right?
Okay, but you say player balance, right? If we did player balance, the M18 would be 8.0, the Super Hellcat would be 10.3, anything that's American that's good, the M56 would be 700 billion, there's gonna if you went by player statistics, the loudest the loudest part of a community is usually the minority, right? They're just mad, right? The people who are mad about stuff usually do not represent the full picture, right? Because people are, sometimes content and with it, but they don't vocalize. So if you go to Reddit and you're like, hey man, here's a poll, like what should change about the BR? You know how many German players I see on Reddit that cry and complain about me whenever I absolutely bamboozle them? Or in general, just American vehicles. They're like, oh, it shouldn't be me. German mains like to complain. And if Gaijin listened to them even more, yeah, that would be just not fun to be anything else but Germany. They'd be like, you know what? I think the Tiger E should get to fight the M22, and actually the M22 should have be slower because here's an obscure article that I found where an M22 needed an oil change, and so yeah, I think that the Panther F should be able to fight everything at like the M4A1 with the 70 with the 50 millimeter, and anything with a 37 millimeter, it should be able to, it should be fine. Like they just need to play better, honestly. And like I've gone on the Reddit, which I know is a terrible idea. I've gone on the Reddit, and it's not good. There's a lot of yappers over there for sure.
Comments below. Share the crap out of this video. Like it for the algorithm. Let's take out the eyes for him. All right, let's see what finicky stuff we can get caught up. Yeah, see, look. No. There's no World War II vehicles with, like, why? Why am I here? What am I doing?
I agree with that.
Why am I 7.7? Every one of these tanks can go through my upper plate.
Why does it have game audio on?
I don't want any rebalancing. Like, we brought the IS-4M down. No. We need a full change of battle ratings across the spread.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, I've already said what I wanted to say, but Roy Kotz.
Okay. Well, if that's like make sure to comment if you guys have watched this video entirety. If there is anything else that like was, talked about and I missed, feel free to let me know. But yeah, and maybe we'll dive into it for another video. But yeah, I mean, I agree with most of his points. Some of them I can't really get behind. Like if you're gonna be like, oh, the FE405, yeah, it's conventional, blah blah blah, it still will do just fine if it was at the bottom echelon of this other tier that you're making, or this other part of the game you're making. I personally think that if we're going to save this game, if we're going to make it better, right, for the longevity, one, it needs competition, or they just need to create a better game so that there is no competition in future, right? I personally do not want to see Gaijin fail. I don't want to see War Thunder fail, but eventually it will happen if they're continuously on this track. I personally, if I had the money, if I had the finances or the ability to make a game, I would make the game that I have envisioned what a tank milsim should be. But I'm not there right now. And that's okay. Maybe one day. But yeah, the sense that, like we need to fix War Thunder. Unfortunately, if the persons in charge of War Thunder don't want it to be fixed, they don't want help, nothing's going to change, So, I don't know. I mean, they're going to make decisions based purely on finances, and making a risky decision like completely redesigning balancing could be dangerous for them. And are they going to want to do that? That's a risk. Are they willing to take it? Probably not. But yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, once again, if there's anything else that I missed that you guys know that was talked about in this video, feel free to give me a comment in this comment section down below, and I'll respond to you as fast as I can. If you haven't already, make sure to join the Discord, subscribe to the YouTube, and follow the stream so you don't miss out on nothing. And just so you guys know, if you guys want to talk to me about anything on stream, you know, feel free to swing by and we can, you know, you can have my unfiltered opinion about whatever. But yeah. Much love, guys. Thanks for chilling. Thanks for hanging out. Cleo7's in the chat. I'll see you guys on the next one.